लाभलेले आहेत हे आमच्यासाठी अत्यंत आनंदाची समाधानाची बाब आहे. सर्वप्रथम मी आदरणीय सुखदेव थोरात सरांचं महाविद्यालयाच्या वतीने मनपूर्वक स्वागत करतो. आदरणीय डॉक्टर दिवाकर सिंह राजपूत, आदरणीय सर अंजुली युमाई, माननीय प्राध्यापक सुधीर बसले आणि आपण सर्वजण मनपूर्वक स्वागत करून आपण या वेबिनारला सुरुवात करूया. I am Professor Dr. Srikant Gaikwad, Head Department of Sociology and convener of this webinar. Firstly, welcome all of you on the behalf of my college, Department of Sociology and Philosophy. The chairperson of this webinar, New Education Policy and Higher Education, Honorable Sidramappa Dongarge sir, inaugurator and chief guest, Honorable Dr. Sukhdev Thorat, former president of Geography and Commission and Professor Center of Religion Development, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi. Honorable Divakar Singh Rajput, Professor, Department of Sociology, Dr. Central University, Sagar. Honorable Newman, Professor of Sociology, Inclusion and Inclusive Policy, University, Hyderabad. Honorable Sudhir Maskesar, Professor, Department of Social Work, University of Delhi. My colleagues and all the delegates. Mahatma Bashveshwar is established in 1970 by Mahatma Bashveshwar Education Society, keeping in view the aim of spreading high and qualitative education to the common masses in the society. This is multi-faculty educational institute in district and one of the most reputed colleges in Swami Ramanand Tirth Marathwada University, Nanded. It has been re-accredited with A grade by NAC. At present, this college offers various courses in several disciplines: arts, commerce, science, and Bachelor of Social Work. The college imparts education at PG level also in sociology, history, philosophy, geography, political science, and mathematics. The college has research centers in sociology, philosophy, history, Hindi, and geography. Every year, college organizes professor lecture series, Mahatma Phule inter-college competition. Needless to say, our college has a well-equipped library with 1.5 lakh books, a spacious reading room available for the students round. 21st century is known as challenge to the whole world. This century changing human life in an astonishing speed. Democracy, socialism, scientific approach, gender equality are the core value of Indian Constitution. The value of higher education should be rooted with thought, alias, and self-expression. Students should develop alias and self-expression. Students should develop their sensitivity through society by keeping this attitude. How education system will be functional, which will bring the right between education standard and social bondage. This discussion should be held in educational reform. The society which is highly educated, the future of that society is always bright. Today, we sketch the educated society. We do strive for getting knowledge. Illiteracy is more dangerous than being economical over. The present problem is that how should be higher education system which will be the face of human being in one hand by developing our own career at the same time we have to create culture and ability student on the other side or that education system should be strengthened. The elevated student will not be the polarized from education. The limbed education system gives right to limbed country. The most important and urgent reform needed to education is to transform it to indirect to relative it to the life needs and aspirations of the people and thereby make it the powerful instrument of social, economic and cultural transformation necessary. Realization of the national goals. For this purpose, education should be developed so as to increase productivity, achieve social and national integration, accelerate the process of modernization, and cultivate social, moral, and spiritual values. Education is the only investment opportunity for the resourceless people like Ravi who gives their life saving into sending their children to school. The reservation in public employment provided them a hope of getting due returns in this investment apart from the social elevation that the employment entailed. Globalization, with its drive towards privatization, intensifying competition, employing labor technologies for maximization of profits and reduction in public expenditure has been effectively eliminating jobs. Privatization is the soul of globalization and hence education also cannot escape from its trap. So we must discuss and debate on all these issues. These are the goals of this webinar. Now my speech is over. Thank you for being the part of this webinar. Now Chairperson Honorable Principal Dr. Sidramappa Dongarge will be addressing you. Thank you, sir.
Today's the function organized by Mahatma Basaveshwar Mahavidyalaya Latur, A grade, by the Sociology and Philosophy Department is National Webinar on New Education Policy and Higher Education. So the today's chief guest and the inaugural speaker, Professor Dr. Sudhakar Sukhdev Thoras sir, and the keynote speaker, Dr. Diwakar Singh Rajput sir, resource person, Dr. Anjali Nimoy, and another resource person, Mr. Sudhir Maske. And the convener of this webinar, Dr. Srikantji Gaikwad sir, the ex-principal of our college and the head department of sociology, and the another co-convener, Dr. Sheetal Kerole, head department of philosophy, and all the delegates and the dignitaries. This webinar is organized particularly for the researchers and those the persons who are studying the sociology and philosophy. These two subjects, they are very important to reform the society, I'm not the person of this philosophy or sociology or social sciences. I'm a, so, I'm a person of physics, student of physics, but I can't elaborate or conclude something. But whatever I have got, the information and what I have come to know from the departmental interactions, that sociology must be the systematic study of society and social interactions. The social interactions comes only when the person or the researcher interacts with the society. And this interaction would be of what type? In order to carry out their studies, socialists, identity, culture, and the social forces and determines how they affect individuals and groups. This individuality and the group discussion and the group culture that must be studied by the researchers. They also develop ways to apply their findings to the real world. What is the main focus of the sociology? The main focus of the sociology is to reform society and social behavior by focusing on cultures, organizations, groups, and other social institutions. There are 7 areas of the sociology. The first, the social organization, sociological, social psychology, social change, human ecology, population and demography, applied sociology, social methods and research. So our focus point today is the methods and research. The many researchers have carried out the research work concerned with the society, and they have developed the many things in the society. The many philosophers and the socialists have reformed the society. I just like Gautam Buddha, I just like Mahatma Basaveshwar. All these people, they will be called, or they will be called, and they must be called the social workers and the social researchers and the philosophers. Our conference also include subject like philosophy. So that also comes with the sociology subject. The sociology and philosophy, both the basic things must be involved or must be the character of a good person. So how that we will look forward, but what this does or what are benefits of studying the sociology, that I will mention and I will proceed further. The social study gives us, the social study creates the ability of critical thinking, analytical skills, reading, writing, and oral communication skills, and the research skills. For example, literature review, translation, and analysis. These socialists will create, or this study makes the person a leader in the society, and those leaders are needed in the today's atmosphere of the society. And similarly, when this comes out, is with the help of philosophy, because the philosophy or philosophers, they are the philosophers who have created the rules for themselves. The basic definition of the philosophy is, the philosophy is the human attempt to systematically study and the most fundamental structure of our entire experience in order to arrive at beliefs that are as conceptually clear, experimentally confirmed, and rationally coherent as possible. So this, as this definition, one has to be coherent, one has to be creator for themselves, one has to think for the betterment of the society. One has to make a rule for the society, how to behave myself in the society. That rule must be created by the philosopher, and then only he will be a great philosopher. Today we have combined both the subjects here because of this reason only. The philosophy subject will create the rules for the person or individual, and these individuals together in a groups called the society. Means philosophy and society, this combination we have tried to make here, like this. And I feel this combination will make the participants to create the good society, to create behave in the good society, how to behave in the society. Actually, I'm not of that level to speak in philosophy and sociology, but the opinion from the philosophers and social Kumbar sir, Dr. Srikanji Gaikwad, all these people have influenced us to behave or to be a social one. For that, we have made a rule to behave with the students and with the society, with the staff members and all. So great philosophers also have made the same things. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, so all these people have made rules for themselves. Mahatma Gandhi ji has made the rules for himself and for the that has helped for the betterment of the society. So he himself decided that I will not use the full clothes unless and until the Indian people will get full clothes. And you see what happened? He is being from the area of Gujarat, and there he started the cloth industries, and those industries are now famous now. Gujarat still provides the clothes to India. Means Mahatma Gandhi has studied like this that this is a basically this industry is required. This clothes will be manufactured and they will be given to the society, that there will not be a person in the society without a cloth. There are many things which want to be discussed, but I will not go in details. They are waiting for the speakers, chief guests will discuss with you in all, and I will not go in that detail. I will stop here, but I welcome all the participants again, and I give the best wishes for all of the participants to be a fruitful discussion here, and thank you.
Now, Dr. Siddhar Erole.
Thank you, sir. It is my great honor and pleasure to introduce our inaugurator, Padma Shri Dr. Sukhdev Thorat sir, who is an economist, professor, uh, Jawaharlal Nehru University since August 2014. Distinguished Professor Savitri Phule Pune, IIT Pune, K.R. Narayanan Chair for Human Rights and Social Justice, Mahatma Gandhi University, Kerala. Managing Trustee, Indian Institute of Dalit Study, New Delhi. Chairman, Council of Social Science Research, New Delhi, 2001 to 2017. Chairman, University Grant Commission, 2006 to 2011. Professor in Jawaharlal Nehru University, 1973 to 2014. Director in Indian Institute of Dalit Studies, 2003 to 2006. Visiting faculty, Iowa State University, Amas, USA. President in Economic Association since 2010, President Conference, Indian Society of Agriculture Economics 2009, President, Conference Indian Society of Labor Economics 2010. Sukhdev Thorat sir, born on 12 July 1949 in small farmer family in village Mahimpur, district Amravati, Maharashtra. Sukhdev sir was graduated with BA from Milinda College of Arts, Aurangabad. He obtained MA in economics from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar University, completed MPhil PhD in economics Jawaharlal Nehru University. He had completed diploma in economic planning, men's school of planning, Warsaw, Poland. Sukhdev sir's area of research shows his tremendous depth of knowledge. He has done research in agricultural development, rural poverty, institution and economic growth, problems of marginalization groups, economic of caste system, caste discrimination, human development, human right issue, thoughts of Ambedkar, slum education. Professor Sukhdev sir, contribution of society. Professor Sukhdev Thorat sir's contribution for society and research has been widely recognized, awarded Padma Shri Award by Government of India 2008, Dr. Ambedkar National Award for Social Understanding of Vickers Section 2011, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar Ratna Award, Mother Teresa International Award, Dr. Ambedkar Chetan Award, Purushottam Award, Milind Saha Award, Award by Maharashtra Sahitya Akademi Pune, Maharashtra. Sir, those students lucky enough to take classes from Sukhdev sir from always been amazed by his ability to make even the most complex concept to understandable. Today is the day all of us hear speech and thoughts from uh, Professor Thorat sir. So without delaying much, I would like to request Thorat sir to take over and guide us his valuable thoughts through this virtual online webinar. Please welcome Professor Thorat sir.
Thorat sir. Thorat sir, please. So I invite. Yes. Yes. Yes.
माझा आवाज येतो सर्वांना? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, welcome.
Hello.
येतो सर. येतो सर.
Is it clear?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. Good morning to all of you. The organizer of
सर थोडंसं आपल्याला व्हिडिओ चालू करायचा सर आपला व्हिडिओ.
Hello.
चालू आहे सर चालू.
Yes, sir, welcome.
The organizer of this seminar, the principal and the vice principal, and the participant. Well, I thank the organizer for inviting me to give a speech or lecture on the new economic policy and its implications. Um, I am quite familiar with the colleges in the Latur and the educational standard in Latur district. Latur has made a name for itself in school education as well as in higher education. Uh, the topic today's discussion, as I said, is new education policy and its implication, or understand its aspects and its implication and the lesson for us. I will deal this particular issue. It is very important for all of you and for all of us. So I will deal this issue in by focusing on 4 or 5 aspects. The first aspect, we will try to understand the beginning of this policy, how it was developed, how it was evolved, and then we go into the different features of this feature recommendation of this various recommendation of this committee and the implication. How good are they? How bad are they? We can accept or we cannot. But the policy has been implemented irrespective of the fact whether we like it or not. Now, I did not read the goal of education. Everybody knows what is the purpose of higher education, particularly. But I will just reiterate. To me, the goal of higher education are mainly, there are several goals, but there are mainly 3 goals. One is, of course, to impart the scientific knowledge to the student, whichever subject it is, sociology or philosophy. We impart, we give knowledge, all the knowledge to students, but it is a knowledge based on scientific inquiry. It is not a knowledge based on speculation. So the student understand the reality. The purpose of giving the knowledge is to understand the truth, understand the social situation around them, economic situation around them, in sciences, the environment and everything around them. So knowledge is the first part. The second is that we also try to give the skills to the student, improve their employability. The purpose of education is also that the student seeks jobs. So in addition to the knowledge, they are given vocational education and skill whereby their employability increases. And the third aspect of our view and goal of knowledge is that it also impart values. It also transfer values to the students, human values, the values which make the student a human being. So what kind of value we teach and what kind of value we should teach, that's another issue. But I think education also makes the man by imparting appropriate values. These are, in my view, are the important goals of higher education, and you will see that the new education policy has touched upon most of the goals. Now let's come to the new education policy. We must know that this is probably the third all India policy developed by the government of India. You know that there has been a policy during the British period, but we developed a policy after independence in 1948-47. As soon as we got the independence in 1947, we recognized the importance of higher education and school education also, or education in general. And the government of India immediately set up a committee under the chairmanship of Radhakrishna. And that was basically confined to higher education. The Radhakrishna Commission report was submitted in 1948. 2 years later, to set up of University Commission in 1952. In 1952, the University Grant Committee was set up. and later on 2 years, the University Grant Commission was. So the first policy initiative after setting up UGC, the first policy was developed somewhere around 1948 and 49 on the eve of independence, and this continued up to 1968. In 1968, we developed a first, almost a first official policy by the government of India, approved by the parliament. But the policy was based on another commission. In 1964-65, we set up the Kothari Commission report. The Kothari Commission report was both school education as well as higher education. The government of India asked the Kothari Commission report to study the entire higher education and school education system and being reformed. And in the reform, of course, one of the objectives was obviously the uniformity. Beside other goal, bringing uniformity in higher education was one of the objectives set before the Kothari Commission report. Kothari Commission, because there was a tremendous variable in higher education. Even for higher education, somewhere it was 11th and 12th senior school education was separate. In some, there was no 11 and 12th. There was matriculation and then pre-university, then 3 year of college degree. And in other states, there was a lot of variation. So one of the objectives of Kothari Commission was to bring an uniformity in higher education. So based on the 1964-65 report, Kothari Commission, a policy was made, although most of the recommendations were not available to the 68 policy, but some of the recommendations of the Kothari Commission were incorporated in 68 policy. Then 20 years later, another policy was made, very comprehensive policy was made in 1986. 1986 policy is the last policy that we have today. And based on the 86 policy, after 3 years, because policy is one thing, but you want a program of action. So in 1992, we made a program of action. So 1986 policy approved by the parliament, the houses, and by the academician. And the program of action based on those policies was developed in 1992. So what we have today, till today, is the 1986 policy and program of 1992 program of action. Now, after 37 years, we have another policy, very comprehensive policy, and that is called 2220 policy. Now, if you look at the earlier policies, what we understand is that these 1968 policy as well as 1986 policy and program of action of 92 was prepared after the thorough examination of the higher education system in the country. The Kothari Commission run into 2 volumes. Kothari Commission report studies all the education system by visiting several universities, by understanding and studying the various aspects of higher education. It has set up 21 task force in the several aspects. There were 250 researchers, experts involved in the 21 task force. There were working group. There were consultants which run into about, I think, 2,500. And then, of course, there was a feedback taken from the stakeholder, people's parliament and others. So it went on for 2 years, and then it was presented to the parliament based on this extensive study. Now we have 220 policy. What is the factual base of this policy? Government of India, Ministry of Education set up a committee under the chairmanship of Subramaniam, who was a cabinet secretary. I must say that the Kothari report had about somewhere from the foreign country.